Hey, wonderful people, it is Mark here from Not Defining This, and I hope you're doing so well today. This is the place where we delve into those important questions about sexuality, gender, sex, love, relationships, mental health, self-confidence, and so much more. Why? So that you can find your best self however you define. So today, I really wanted to talk about an important concept, which is bi erasure. And I want to just say a bit about what it is, how it can affect us, and then towards the end, just a little bit about how we can confront it and overcome it. So if you like this content, then please click subscribe. Thank you so much to my channel sponsor, Dark Yarn, who make wonderful LGBTQ plus clothing that you can wear every day. So bi erasure, what is it? Basically, it's the concept that as a bi person, it's really difficult for people to know you exist. And so we have this weird reality where there are actually a lot of bi people in the world. Okay, so bisexuality is the biggest group in the LGBT community. If you look at some of the studies, you'll see that up to half of 18 to 25-year-olds now identify as not straight. So there's a lot of bisexuality in the world, but nobody really identifies as bi. There are only a small number of people who actually say, I'm bisexual. Yeah, I'm one of them. Maybe you are too. If you are, hello. Why do we have this weird dynamic? Why are there actually in reality so many bi people, but we seem to be invisible? Well, bi erasure is the answer. So bi erasure is the concept that we are identified in society by the partner that we have. Okay, so if I was with a man, I would be identified as gay, right? They would call me a gay man. They would call us a gay couple. If we got married, it would be gay marriage. Yeah. If we had sex, it would be gay sex, right? So we have these identities which are dictated by the gender of our partner. And it's normally a binary assumed gender as well. Then if I was with a woman, I would be assumed to be straight, right? They would call us a straight couple and all the rest of it. You get the picture. So there's no outward, obvious, visible manifestation of being bi that you can kind of see in society. Now, if you look at both of those couples that I just mentioned, actually one of them or both of them could be bi, but you wouldn't know because people assume what your sexuality is based on the gender of your partner. And so the only real way that people might see or hear of a bi person is if they have multiple relationships with people of different genders. And as we know, that's not actually the norm for bi people. Contrary to popular belief, we don't actually often do that. And so most bi people, the vast majority, are in monogamous relationships with someone of one gender, and that's it. So you never get to show that you're bi, right? Unless you talk about it, okay? And so then when you talk about it, the problems arise. People don't believe you. There's all of this stigma in society and so on. So bi people feel like they can't express who they are. They can't express their identities. So why is this important? Well, it's really important because when bi people are growing up or moving through life, we need to see ourselves mirrored in other people. It's so important for us to understand that what we experience is real, right? What can happen a lot of time is that we grow up believing that we're broken. We grow up believing that there's something wrong with us, or that we're in denial, or that we're really gay or straight or whatever. I experienced that in my life, and it was really traumatic. So we need to have bi visibility. Bi erasure can also prevent us from finding love. If we're dating, for example, people will think that we're just gay or think that we're just straight. So if I wanted to date a woman and said I'm bisexual, a lot of the time, she might turn around and say to me, oh, well, that just means you're gay. right? Or if I was dating someone and I came out as bisexual, a lot of the time people will think, oh, well, that means this, that means that means you're going to cheat on me. There's all this ignorance because we don't see visible bi people telling their stories and showing that we're just normal, natural people like everybody else. It can also lead to abuse and sexual abuse as well, which can be really, really awful. People will sexualize bi identity and think that it's kind of synonymous with being promiscuous or sexually adventurous. And that is, of course, absolutely not the case. You only need to look at my sex life to know that that's not the case. But it can really, really create these tropes and these stereotypes that then people kind of assume and play on. And it's just all a really, really horrid state of affairs. So bi erasure really, really affects us. It affects bi people's lives. And how can we confront it? So before I go on to that, I just want to say that if you want to know more about bisexuality and about the sexuality spectrum in general, then check out my brand new book. It is called Fluid, and it talks all about the sexuality spectrum. It talks a lot about sexuality, bi erasure, and lots of different topics like this. So you can search for Fluid by Mark Cusack anywhere where books are sold. There's a link to it below. So how do we get over bi erasure? Well, the thing that I would always suggest is to find small ways that you can represent your bisexuality. We need visible cues because our partners and our lives aren't going to naturally tell people that we're bi. So we need these visible cues. And one thing that I love to do is to wear something on my person. So as you can see an example of that here, I'm wearing this wonderful hoodie by the fabulous LGBT run company Dark Yarn. And it's just got these bi pride colors on it. So you can see it's also got like this nice brand here. And it just makes me feel really good because it lets me show my bi pride colors. And the wonderful thing about bisexuality is that not a lot of people know what the colors mean. So if someone sees this and they're not educated, then that's okay. You're not kind of exposing yourself. However, if another bi person sees it, they're going to go, wow, that's so cool. You got like a bi branded jumper, and it's lovely because we get to connect. Otherwise, you don't know if you're walking past another bi person or you meet a bi person in the store or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So wearing the bi pride flag for me is such a lovely way to connect with my community and empower us and show that, hey, we exist. By the way, if you would like to get your own hoodie or your own t-shirt, they've got joggers, hats, tops, all kinds of different sportswear, fashion wear. Go to darkyarn.com. DY make amazing, beautiful luxury clothes that we can all wear and enjoy every day, which also allow us to celebrate our community. They also have trans pride, lesbian pride. They've got different rainbow, progressive flag, like all kinds of things. So go and check out darkyarn.com. There's a link below, and you can use the code NOTDEFINING to get your own very special discount. So thank you to Dark Yarn. You are really helping our community to show up in pride. The next thing that I like to do is to talk about famous bi people. So there are a lot of celebrities and famous people in the world who are actually bi, but because of bi erasure, a lot of people don't know it. So some of my favorites are Whitney Houston, Miley Cyrus, Katy Perry, Megan Fox, Lady Gaga, Mel B from the Spice Girls, people like Nina Simone, Billie Holiday, were all bisexual people. Sylvia Rivera, who's also trans and bi. So talking about these famous bi people, and particularly bi women who often get really erased, can I think, be a nice way to lightly put it into conversation, and people will learn something. They're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. And it helps people to kind of understand and relate, because they're really famous and a lot of people like these people, look up to these people. It's kind of just a nice way to educate. And then the final thing is to stand up. Now, we can't always do this, but if there are any allies watching, then please help us out with this, because we really appreciate it. If people are saying things like gay rights when they actually mean LGBT rights, call them out. If people are calling it gay pride when they actually mean pride, call it out. Like we said before, if people are looking at a couple and saying, oh, look at that gay couple, yeah, call it out. You can say, well, one of them might be bi, one of them might be asexual, one of them might be some other identity, yeah? So there are little ways that you can just challenge that kind of everyday bi erasure that happens, and challenging terminology, obviously just where you feel safe to do so, is a great way to do it. So anyway, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you are all feeling confident, feeling proud of your bisexuality. I know I am. Thank you for being here. Subscribe for more content. And if you would like to know more about bisexuality, then check out this playlist, because I've got loads of content right there. Love you all. Have a great day. Bye for now.